Hello, DMV. You were tuned into the Kickback Reloaded with me, Miss Zombie Frazier, and of course, Mr. Fat Handsome.
How you doing? How you
AKA
doing?
Mr. Diesel.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Just working. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
By the time this interview comes out, it might be a couple of weeks from around before Christmas.
Okay.
But you have something that's coming out. Tell us about
Christmas
that.
Eve. Christmas Eve, I got my compilation coming out with my team. A couple artists I'm working with from the area. We got a artist by the name of Muff Baby.
Okay.
Female rapper. Very lyrical, you know.
I like that.
She's my protege. That's my protege right there. We got Nash on the project as well. He's been on my projects leading up to this one. So we got a nice project coming.
So you're from the DC area?
I'm from DMV. I'm from Oxon Hill.
Oxon Hill specifically?
Oxon Hill, yeah, Oside.
So these artists from that area?
Yeah, most of them are from Oside, Oxon Hill. Yeah, majority of them are. And we got a few from Southeast as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did read in your bio that you're very knowledgeable about the DMV scene, who's popping, the trends, and what's going on. So we're going to get into that.
Okay, we can do that.
But first, I'll be looking through people's tweets, and I definitely was all up in your Twitter and like, look at you, like, what did I tweet? Well, I'm going to definitely let you know what you tweeted, and I want some clarification.
Okay.
One was a little bit off, and it was like, bro, I don't even know how to take this, but, you know.
My tweets, wow. Ooh, I don't know. They're old. I don't tweet too often.
You don't. It's like it's hit or miss. It's like it'd be 2012, then it's like 2015, then it's like music, then it's like personal, then
yeah. So I don't know what I
this
said.
could tell us a little bit about you.
Okay.
All right, cool. So this tweet that I saw, it says, "How can you find love in another hairy sack? Shaking my head. I hate my job. Shaking my head." And like I was spending time trying to figure this out.
Oh my goodness!
But you know I got you here, so I don't even have to think. You could just tell me.
Oh man, we breaking ice right now. Okay, so let me tell you, my job. I still do security at bars and lounges.
Okay.
And at a point in my life, I worked at a gay club.
Okay.
And it was just wild. It was wild. I did security there. It was just wild. So I saw certain things that made me question a lot of things at that time in my life. Like, whoa, what is going on here? Why am I even working here? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I also started to understand that lifestyle a little more.
Right.
So that tweet that you got, I probably had just started working there 9 times out of 10, and I wasn't knowledgeable on the LBQT. I don't know exactly how to say it, the community though. I wasn't knowledgeable. So immature status at the time.
So what was your status there? You were doing security there?
I was doing security.
Okay.
Yeah. Head security there. Yep.
So just being there and like seeing how people moving, you like, what's going on? And then it just made you be like, why am I even here?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I know I was there for the money, but still, like, how did I end up working at this specific location? You know what I mean? I had to question life for a second.
Okay.
What direction it was going into. And that's just being real.
That's something new. I didn't know that. I don't know if y'all knew that, but like fun facts about, Mr. Fast. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so to be completely honest, do you feel like rapping is your calling? Is that what you were put here to do? No. Okay. No. So is it something you just enjoy doing and it's like a hobby? It's
something that I was put here to do, but not forever. Okay. I think that was the main outlet that I had. You know what I mean? But it introduced me to so many other aspects of music and of entertainment in general that I feel as though it was just the beginning. You know what I mean? So, to answer your question, no, I don't think that's my calling. So
what do you feel like rapping is used for you to do? Like, what's the bigger picture?
The bigger picture is to get a story across that no matter what's thrown at you, you never stop, you never give up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I did sacrifice a lot to rap, but I don't think it was just to rap because I do more than rap. I write for singers. I sang all my life. That's just something I chose not to pursue heavy as I did with the rapping. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it was easy to understand once I got into rapping heavily. You know what I mean? Really taking it serious. Like, this is not for me because I'm not a person that really wants the spotlight too much.
Okay.
That's why, you know what I mean? I don't want to be the biggest star ever as far as like rapping is concerned. That's not what I want. I don't like that type of attention.
So why not take the route on being a motivational speaker and like going to different schools or community centers and getting your story across?
Because I love music. Okay. That's one thing I do love I love creating music. Period. Just not just rapping, just creating the creative side of music in general. So that's the only reason I don't think. I mean, maybe I will go into that, but it's right now. I don't see that happening right this minute. You know what I mean? I think my story's far from over. It's just beginning. So I think I got to go through some other things first before I take that route.
Okay. So I see your style. I watched, your videos. I looked through your Instagram, and you consider yourself a veteran. Like, it's something you've been doing. You pretty much know people. You're very knowledgeable about, the trends and stuff that's going on. So looking at mainstream artists right now, we have the colorful hair, we have the piercings, we have the face tattoos, we have the emo kind of thing, we have a consistent sound, and you tend to be in a category more with your influences like Twista, Pimp C, T.I., Scarface, and that kind of thing. So do you feel like in order to really get the masses that you would like, that you would have to transfer over?
No, because it's a lot of people that want to hear these influences of mine, that miss that type of music, but I can convey it in another way to make the younger ones be like questioning, like, okay, he's older, he's been through some things, you know what I mean? Because they're going to get older.
Right.
The ones that are young now, they're going to get older, and their ears are going to change. They're going to want to hear something different. You know what I mean? I think I try to capture a lot of ears by production. If I can get your ears with the production, everything else I'm going to do after you hear that beat, you're going to enjoy, in my opinion. You know what I mean? To some extent. Whether it's the lyrics, whether it's the flow, the cadence that I use when I rap. You know what I mean? Maybe one line I said. Maybe you like my tag. I don't know.
Right.
So, it all depends. But, no, I don't think I have to cross over.
So you're okay if it's like, somehow we didn't got the answer that going the route that you're going at this time, people will be more accepting of you 10 years from now. Are you comfortable with that?
I'm comfortable with saying that, yes. Okay. I mean, I feel as though by the time I don't know, it may happen this year, it may happen next year, 2 years from now, but I'm going to continue to mature. And I'm going to keep my ear to the street. So, and like I said, I think production is a big part of everything, the way the song is produced. And if you can get the listener's ear off the beat alone, you got them. You know what I mean? Period. And a hook, of course. But 10 years from now, yes, it's safe to say that. It's safe to say that.
Okay. So the artists that you've named, clearly they're from your area, and I'm not really knowledgeable about it, but that's why I love doing interviews. I get to meet new people, especially in the area, like kind of tap into it. So you knowing the trends and like what's popping on the DMV music scene, why not collab with those who are already kind of there?
They don't like to reach out sometimes. You know what I mean? You can reach out a lot to certain people before they even get there. You know what I mean? And they're very reserved in that sense, where they won't work with you. I've come across that a lot, where people are, in my opinion, know of me but won't work with me for the simple fact of being intimidated in a way. I think, but you also understand, this DMV area is a crab in a barrel area. Right. So certain people won't work with you. You know what I mean? I've come across a lot of people I'll work with them, and it'll be great. Like, we've never met, but I've heard your music. Oh, let's collab. We collab. Right. But then you have other artists that maybe are already at in a higher place than you, and you try to reach out, and they don't reach back out. So, and that's just off the humbleness before they reach it, or on radio, but you know of them. They might not be on radio yet, but you know of them. You know what I mean? Because the music starts to move around, you know what I mean, and it captures certain people's ears, you know what I mean. But I do plan on working with a few people that are in some good places right now, very soon. Very soon.
So aside from people being intimidated by you or whatever you bring to the table, do you also think it has something to do with your social media following? Because now I think it does. I do. I think it does. I think that plays a big part. I think showing when it seems as though you're popping, they'll follow more. Correct. It's easy. It's easier for them to feel like, okay, let's do this. You know what I mean? More so than your music. It might not even be what you do. You know what I mean? It might just be off the strength of how many followers you have. Period. That's cool. completely understand. Look, he's shouting at us, telling we got time, but we're going to make sure we focus on him right now. Right. So, back in September, not too long ago, a couple of months ago, you did a DMV showcase.
I did.
Okay. Do you honestly feel like showcases are useful?
I do.
Okay. And how so?
Number one, it depends on whose showcase it is and how well it's put together. That's first and foremost. And who's there. Who's there, meaning like, is it a crowd there? You know what I mean? You want to, and that's the most important thing. You want to gain new followers, new fans. So any opportunity to perform in a setting where there are new fans to be had, you want to do the show.
So after you did that, do you believe like it actually helped you?
Oh yeah. Every showcase I've done helped me. I've done a lot of showcases. They've all helped me in some way, shape, or form. One thing I can say is that connection, those connections built, that networking is important. You know what I mean? It's very important. And that's one thing I can say that I haven't done a lot of. I'm very reserved, like I say. So I don't like being in clubs. I work at clubs, so I don't like being in clubs. That's where I do my most work at. If I'm not performing, I don't want to be there.
Right.
I don't want to, for what? You know what I mean? I can play music in my own house. You know what I mean? I'd rather be in the studio because I'm always in the club working. But that's been used in a good fashion too, because I connect with people that way as well. Like I met Pinky, Killer Corn,
love her,
when I was at a bar. I met her I was working at a bar security, and this is before she even started really going hard with her music. This is maybe like 2013. I asked her to be in my music video. She showed up to the set the next day and was in it. This is before I knew she rapped.
Wow.
I didn't even know she rapped. And she was like, yeah, I rap. And I checked her out. I was like, oh, she got stuff with Shy Glizzy and this, that, and the third. But that humbleness, that's why I say sometimes you meet people and you just connect and they'll work with you. And that built a great relationship. But back to your question as far as the showcases. Showcases and shows are very important. Very important. That networking and also being able to showcase your performances. You know what I mean? That's very important. That's very important. It gives you practice. Practice makes perfect.
Agreed.
You know, gotta get that stage presence together. You know?
And the DMV definitely has a lot of talent all over. Yeah. But I think one of our main issues is we don't have record labels here that are major. We don't have, real PRs that really have deep connections that can take you. We don't have really executives or people that's placing things together. We have so much talent, and it's like nobody really wants to help people because it's like, who gonna really help us, So do you feel like you would be in a better position to make it if you were outside of this area?
No.
Why?
Because you're gonna deal with sometimes you're gonna deal with those same things everywhere else. You got people in other areas that are trying to do the same thing you're doing and thinking the same thing about their city. You feel me? Where there's lack of support. I think it's just I think it's worse here than anywhere else as far as that crab in the barrel mentality. But you go somewhere else, you're gonna deal with the same thing unless you already have those connections before you go out there. It's one thing to be brought out there, or then to just move out there and think you're going to do something other than what you can do in your city. Because you got to remember, you got a lot of people in your city that probably do support you that you don't know of.
Right.
You know what I mean? More so than you go somewhere else and you know no one.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So, no, you can't. You have to work your city. If they don't follow suit, they don't follow suit. But somebody's gonna like you. Somebody with you know what I mean, that has some insight. Somebody's gonna want to help you. I've had a lot of help just off the humble. I just met people and we clicked. They started helping me. Like I just shouted them out on my Instagram a couple days ago. One of them I knew forever. The other two I just met off the humble through people, and they brought me in like I was family. So, no, you don't. I don't think that's the case. No.
And I definitely got to give you your props. You are very, very supportive. You being an artist, like just going through most of your tweets, it's like you're posting somebody else's video, somebody else's song, and I think that's what we need a lot more of. And it's nice to be able to have someone like you that's in this industry doing that.
That's something that's what I feel like my calling is, honestly. Being an executive, being an A&R, being a producer, behind the scenes, doing everything behind the scenes to make an artist or a label work. And that's why I feel like me doing my own music and trying to pursue my own music to just get my foot in that door. If I get one big toe in the door, I'm going to bring everybody else with me. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Period. Because I don't want you to have to work this 9-to-5 job or hustle anymore when this is your calling. When I see that you can do this just like anybody else that's doing it. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like my calling is, really. Okay. Like taking artists under my wing and just working with them, period. Even like I think that's been my hindrance because I tried to do it before it was time. and it hindered me from being able to pursue my career the way I need to get everybody there.
Correct.
So that's why I feel like that's kind of my focus now, to really focus on myself. Yeah, I got your back if you need help, but I got to really put the focus on my career right now, so that I can put everybody else in a better position. So.
Well, let's get them there, because we need some help.
Definitely.
We need some help.
Definitely.
So we're going to get into a few more of your tweets, because
Oh, man, we back to the tweets.
We got to go back.
I'm scared of the
because,
tweets, man.
you know, I love giving the people an opportunity to talk and speak and to tell their story, but when you're not a celebrity, it's really hard.
Of course.
So if you do like a lot of interviews or a lot of appearances and stuff like that, then people already know, more about you. So, what you put on the internet is pretty much out there permanently. So that gives me some kind of insight on what to ask you, so you could kind of let me know something.
Okay.
Look, it's not nothing crazy.
I don't know.
We already got the crazy one out the way.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. It gets wild.
So this one, we're going to start off pretty easy.
Okay.
It says, if you met my mom and knew my dad when he was living, you see why I'm so cool. # the best parents.
Okay.
So what is your relationship like with your mom, and how was your dad living, and why would we think you so cool?
Wow. Great question. My mom. I look just like my mom, number one. Everybody thinks we're twins, especially now that I grew my hair out. But we did not have the best relationship growing up, to say the least. But as I've gotten older, that's like my best friend, especially since my dad passed. That's my best friend. I can talk to her about anything. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. You know what I mean?
Mama gonna tell you.
Oh yeah, when I'm right, when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But she's also very cool, very laid back woman, but don't play with her. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about it is we're the same sign. Our birthdays are 2 weeks apart.
That's a blessing and a curse.
Oh, yeah. It is. Oh, tell me about it.
Because you could go head to head, or it could be like, I understand you.
Can't live in that same roof.
Yeah,
no. It won't work. It will not work. My dad, our relationship, that was his wingman. I was his wingman. You know what I mean? So I was always with him, road dog, number one. You know what I mean? Our relationship got rocky at a certain age. When I got to be a teenager, I thought I was grown. He wasn't having it. You know what I mean? He already wasn't having it. You know what I mean? But we had some spats, and I was just glad. I'm glad to say that we came to a point where we made up before he passed away. We got our relationship back on track before he passed away. So, but he was the coolest dude ever.
That's
you know
really
what I mean?
good to
He was
hear.
very cool. Very cool guy. Barber. He cut hair. So he was talking barber. You know what I mean? So he get you in that barber's chair. He got you.
I hear that.
That's it.
I feel like everybody goes through a rocky point with one of their parents, both of them, or something. So what advice would you give someone that's like, I'm just kind of fed up with my mother, I'm fed up with my father, like, I could really care less about this relationship?
Take the time to understand that they've been through what you've been through, or something similar. They're not going to tell you nothing wrong. You know what I mean? You only get one. They're not going to be around forever.
That's very true.
Learn to respect them, because I'm sure you play a part in it. You know what I mean? And just try to hear them out. Have a sit down with them. Let them know what's bothering you, and see why it is that you feel the way you feel. You know what I mean? Just try to work it out the best you can. That's the best advice I can give you. Just try to work it out.
Okay.
Try your best to just talk it through.
I'm all for it. All right. So these next series of tweets, it shows how you feel or felt at that time about women.
Okay.
And maybe had completely changed, but just during this time, like a brother was like back to back with. I'm like, dang, like he about to just start playing everybody. Somebody did something.
Wow.
All right, so this one is well. To start it off, it says it's crazy how a female can F it up for the rest.
Okay.
So that was October 15th, 2012. So tell us a little bit about that. Were you like in love, and this was like the first time that you really did right, and it just blew up in your face, and after that you're like, no, I'm good?
I'll say that in a relationship you have things that happen over and over again, and you just get to a certain point where you just like, I can't do it anymore. Especially when you have put your all in. You know what I mean? It has been years you've put in. You know what I mean? Right. And you have dealt with certain situations that you never thought you'd deal with, and you handled them very well. You know what I mean? And you continue to push through that relationship because you felt as though that's the best person for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and after dealing with that, you don't want to deal with anybody else on that level. At least at that time, you don't.
Because that's
you know
what
I mean?
you thought was like it.
Yeah, it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, of course, you're going to feel as though, man, she messed it up for everybody else. Because now I'm not going to put my heart out there again. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I get into the relationship thing in my music a lot. That's something I do.
I think this particular instance is about a specific person at that time, because it was lit like brother was venting, and I'm all for it. Like, I'm all for it.
Well, I know somebody told me I had to stop doing it on Facebook, and I was like, all right, cool. And I got real. Well,
now you see why?
Yeah, I went and did it on Twitter. I had to go do it on Twitter.
Facebook, okay,
Twitter. Twitter. Yeah, I ain't got too many followers. Ain't nobody paying me no mind on Twitter.
All right, so you said, how do you spaz on a mother effer for no reason, leave marks on their face and their body, and apologize, shake my head, be you tripping? So, what I'm not going to do is make you tell the specific story.
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what specific situation that could be.
But what I am going to do, because this is in reference to a woman putting their hands on a man, how do you feel like a man should react in that instance?
You got to count to 10. You got to count to 10 and go sit down somewhere, man. You can't retaliate. You can restrain so that you don't get hit. You know what I mean? But you got to try to do that in the lightest way possible. You know what I mean? It happens. Let's say that for sure. We all know it happens. Where it's not just a male on female thing. It happens with a female on male thing. Females just lose it sometimes. But it seems like it's more accepting. It's more accepted that when that happens, which is crazy to me. I mean, I think it's all wrong, but even in my heart, I know it's kind of more accepted. You know what I mean? We're going to tolerate that more so than we're going to tolerate a male putting his hands on a female.
Yes. So not sure your current status.
Okay.
Or whatever you have but for you, if a woman does get physical, is it like, no, it's a wrap, or it's like, nah, I'm a man, I can handle it. She just mad, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I can handle it. I can handle it. It's not all. It's not. We're not gonna wipe the board clean because of that. It might have been a situation where I might have deserved the guy here. I might have said something out the way. Sometimes my mouth can be.
Do you call women out their names?
When I get upset, I have. I'm not gonna say I haven't. When I've gotten very upset, I have. I'm not going to say that's a good thing, but I have.
It's not something that you always do when you get mad, but it's something that you have done in the past.
I have done, and when and to be clear, when I do reference that in my songs, I'm not just talking females. I'm talking men more so than females. When I say these in my songs, you know what I mean. So that's not. But I'm an expletive person. I like curse words for some reason. I always have. I got in trouble when I got in trouble in 3rd grade for just using curse words so much.
It's expressive. Like it's a way to get it out. It's a way to feel it. I refrain because I don't know. I just feel like it's like a little bit trashy, but for sugar, I ain't gonna lie. When the time's right, I'm like, you feel me? So I completely get it.
Yeah.
So we gonna end this with this last tweet, which is more in relation to your music.
Okay.
And it says, "N-words be jacking my flows and ad-libs and think it's cool because we cool. Shaking my head now." That right there felt like you felt that in this comment, and it be happening.
All the time.
But everybody got to get something from somewhere.
True.
And they just had to get it from you.
Well, no, I'm not going to even say that necessarily because it's some stuff that I've borrowed from major artists. The way I may put it together is totally different. But then to sit there and hear someone... Hold on, let me ask you a question. When was that tweet from?
That was also in 2012. That's when you was on the Twitter ranked.
That's that's still relative today.
Okay.
That's still
6 years later, we still having the same problem.
Oh, it happens more than you think, and it's and it gets closer than you think. It's crazy, and then people act like they came up with it. They'll sit there and tell me, "Listen to this. I just came up with this," and I could just be sitting with somebody else that I just talked to about this, and they'll be like, and we'll look at each other like,
"Did you just?" We
know what's up, but we just laugh it off. We just laugh it off because it's not that deep to me at the end of the day.
Okay.
But people, the crazy thing is, I've just gotten recently, what I'm saying, somebody recently came at me about stealing something, and I'm like,
oh, they came to you
about me stealing something. They didn't come to me about it, but I heard through the grapevines something like,
this.
Never steal nothing from nobody on the same level as me. It's no reason to. I'm very creative. You feel me? Or anybody else for that matter. You know what I mean? I may get inspired by something, but I never will flat out steal anything from anybody.
Okay.
I ain't no thief.
So 2 questions in that instance. One, if you hear somebody saying whatever about you, are you the type to go directly to the source, or is it, if they ain't said to me, it's none of my business?
It all depends on the situation.
Okay.
It all depends on how deep the situation may be. If it's like what I just said, if you ain't come to me about it, there's no reason for me to address it. Right. As far as like you thought I stole something, if you really thought it, come to me about it. You know what I mean? If it's about something, it all depends on who it is. If it's a friend, that just didn't feel right about talking to me about something, I might approach them about it.
Okay.
Like if I heard about it through someone else close to us, I'm like, let me just talk to them about it because I don't need any discrepancies and it's no issue. You know what I mean? So it all depends on the situation and who it is, on how I'm gonna address things.
Okay. That makes sense. You do treat every situation different.
Yeah, got to.
So, if I'm a rapper, I'm an artist, like one, I love the location that you used in your music video. Okay. I loved your ad lib. I love, whatever lyric you had used. And I'm like, dang, you know what? That might sound good in my song. If I decide to use all of that, and I've seen all that you've done, what will be the proper way for me to do that or to give you your props? Am I saying it in a song like he did? Oh man, like I really like when so-and-so did it. I kind of like followed after it. Do I just come to you and as long as I say something to you, who cares about if anybody knew I got it from you? Oh
man. Somehow acknowledge me. You know what I mean? Call me for a song. Call me to do a song. Let me know that let's hit me up, man. I like your stuff. So when I see it, I'm just like, oh, he's not joking. He really like my stuff. Okay. You know what I mean? Hopefully he doesn't use all these same things in the same song and I can be like, wow, okay, you really jocking. But if you mix it up, you might use something here, use something there. That's cool. I don't mind it. I mean, that shows that you really mess with me. You know what I mean? And that's actually a good thing.
So if that person comes directly to you and say, you know what, man, I really like what you're doing. I kind of use, whatever, like you inspire me. Yeah. That's all that it takes. That's cool. Everybody don't need to know that. So if somebody look and it looked like you got it from him, you cool with that because you already talked.
We already talked. We good.
Okay, I like that. Y'all can learn something, little snatchers.
Yeah, we good.
But other than your project coming out Christmas Eve, again, you're doing a compilation.
Yeah.
So shout out to that, you guys. Definitely be on the lookout for that. What else do you have coming up, or what do you want us to kind of listen to now, or where should we
check out Super Trill? My project Super Trill is doing great numbers. It just did we had 11,000, 12,000 on Spotify with the streams in 2 months. So that's a great project. I got a lot coming next year. I've worked with a guy that you had on your show before, Wap Walla.
Oh, okay.
Wap Walla is my homie from Oxon Hill. We both went to Oxon Hill High School together. We came up together, so that's the homie. We got some music coming soon.
Shout out, Wap Walla.
Yeah, Layla Capri. I'm trying to get with her to do something. That's the homie. She from the old side too. So, it's a lot of talent coming from Oxon Hill. So just look out for everybody's stuff coming. Everybody, whoever's dropping music from Oxon Hill or the DMV in general, just look out for it. I'm pretty sure it's good. But for myself, next year's just a big year. Just look out, keep me on your radar for 2019. 2019, keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. I got a single coming called Right Now, dropping very, very soon. That's coming from the compilation. Video, everything. And actually, the guy on the hook is my video man. So, he's very talented as well. He's on the project as well, so... Yeah. Keeping it
in-house. That's what I'm talking about.
Got to.
So where can we find you, follow you, stalk you, find your music?
I'm at Fat Handsome88 on Instagram. Same as on Twitter.
Which I know.
Fat Handsome everywhere. Everywhere is Fat Handsome. It's Fat Handsome on YouTube. Fat Handsome on Spinrilla, on iTunes, on Spotify. It's Fat Handsome. Everything is Fat Handsome.
Okay.
Trill Since 88 is the label that I'm starting, so that's the compilation. Trill Since 88.
Are you accepting artists?
Yeah, I'm accepting artists. Whoever's talented, come rock with me, please. I got a studio in-house, so we good.
All right, I hear that. I'm Diamond B. Frazier. This is Mr. Fat Handsome, and you are tuning into Kickback Reloaded.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.